Hey friends, welcome back to The Common Good. My name is Brian Fromm. So glad to have you with us today on a Thursday afternoon. And I'm thrilled to be joined by the author of a new book called Broken Yet Unstoppable. The Journey, Struggles, and Victories of Ruth, Naomi, and Our Kinsman Redeemer. Her name is Joan Murray. Joan, how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so good to have you on. Congrats on the book. And here's the question first. Tell us a little bit about the book. Why did you decide to write this book at this time?
So I chose to write this book because so many people, including myself, we have gone through broken situations in our lives. And right now, as you look around the world, so many people are struggling. And so as I minister, whether I'm here in the U.S. or around the world ministering, I find a lot of people that are going through brokenness, whether it is the loss of a loved one, it could be a divorce, it could be a family challenge, health issues. People are in broken situations, and They need to be reminded that even in their brokenness, God is available and He will walk them through it to a victorious new beginning.
That's such a powerful word. Before we dive back into the book, you touched on your ministry there. Tell us about your ministry. I know it's in the U.S. and it's abroad. Tell us a little bit about your ministry and what you guys do.
So the ministry is Joan Murray Ministries, which is the teaching, discipleship. We travel and minister U.S. and around the world. And then Seeds of Hope is the arm of Joan Murray Ministries. And we have been serving the veterans in Houston for about 17 years now. And we serve all across Houston and the poor communities and surrounding areas. And then once a year, we go overseas and we share the gospel. And in the 19 years that the ministry has been in existence, we have gone to the four corners of the world. And so we just came back from the Philippines.
Wow.
4 months ago, where we provided 25,000 pounds of food. We ministered at conferences and churches and in communities and we saw many, many souls added to the kingdom. Oh. And so that's what we do here in the U.S. and around the world.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Good for you. So back to the book, you share the stories of Ruth and Naomi. Why did you choose these women as the basis for the book? What can we learn from their lives?
Their story is just a profoundly deep story of loss, of love, and of devotion. And every time I have read their story in the past, it reminds me of God's love and His devotion to us, that He would send Jesus to die in our place. And so as we look at their journey of loss, Naomi being older, losing her husband, then losing her two sons. We know during that century, women had very few rights and they could not work. So if the husband died, the son would take on the role of providing for the mother. And so with both of her sons dead, God, in His perfect faithfulness, provided a daughter-in-law who was willing to leave all to follow Naomi. What most people don't know about Ruth is that historians say that her and Oprah were sisters, and their grandfather was King Balak, who hired Balaam to curse the children of Israel. So when Naomi told them to go back home, Naomi was not sending them back into poverty. They came out from under a king. And so she chose to walk away from all of that to follow somebody who wanted to change her name from Naomi, which means pleasant one, to Mara, which means bitterness, because she felt that God had dealt bitterly with her.
So powerful. Thank you for opening that up, the journey of Ruth and Naomi. Now, to our personal lives, in the midst of struggle, we all ask, why me? Like, why me during times of struggle? Is that okay? I guess the first question is can we even ask that question of why me, which feels like a very natural one?
Yes, it is absolutely okay. God is a big God. He has big shoulders. He can handle our questions. But here's the reason why I put that chapter in Broken Yet Unstoppable. I actually started the chapter with that. Is because many times when we're going through the broken seasons and the hardships, we run away from God instead of running to Him. And so if you're asking the why me questions, that means you're talking to God, because He's the only one that has the answers for the struggles that we're facing. So instead of shrinking back away from Him because we feel because He's God, He should keep us from the difficulties we're facing, we will pursue Him with these questions, and then we'll have a one-on-one audience with the King of Heaven, who will then address our question. And then in
Yeah.
Isaiah, it tells us to, he said, come, let us reason together. So he wants to talk to us about the situations we're facing.
So here's the $64,000 difficult question. Someone listening they're in a difficult season of life. They're facing a lot of pain. Maybe it's relational, maybe it's health, whatever it is. How can we grow in our relationship with God, even in the midst of those hardships and even through those hardships?
One of the greatest way is not to run away from him. Many times when we hit the hardships, we pray less. We spend less time in the Word. We don't worship as much. But during those hard seasons, you've got to cling even more closely to him. And how do you cling? By deepening that prayer time, deepening in that one-on-one connection with him. Think about it. The King of the universe wants to meet with us one-on-one every day, just like he did with Adam and Eve when he walked with Adam in the cool of the day. The King of the universe sets time aside to meet with us. And the moment we begin to speak to him, he's not wondering who's speaking to him. He knows your voice. He knows my voice. And so the more we stay connected through prayer, through worship, through the word, God is able to deliver us out of the hardship little by little. And when we come out of it, we will be more solid in our walk and in our relationship with him. We will have grown in that relationship. And he will let us see that we will always be victorious, no matter what the enemy brings across our path.
So someone's listening right now and they are going through it. They're going through difficult time. I guess let's get really kind of brass tacks, kind of get to the foundation. What is step one? What would you tell that person who is listening right now going, man, it does feel overwhelming. Life is really hard. Everything is going badly. What would you say is the first thing they should do?
The first thing they should do is go to God. Many times when we're facing the hardship, we go to friends and loved ones, and they can counsel and support and encourage us. But the first thing we need to do is to run to God and ask him for his mercy. He says his mercies are new every morning. Great is his faithfulness. So go to him first and ask him for his mercy, and then get a support group around them to encourage them in their walk. Think about when Moses, they were fighting and how Moses' arm got tired, and there was an Aaron that held up his arm during the battle. We need support on every side as we're walking through the difficulties, but find people who truly can connect with God even when you feel like you cannot pray.
Again, the name of the book is Broken Yet Unstoppable. The author of that book is Joan Murray. Joan, before we let you go, maybe people are fascinated by your ministry and what you're doing. Where can people find out more, not just about the book, but about Joan Murray Ministries?
So they can find the book wherever books are sold. Amazon, Barnes & Noble is in about 38,000 retailers around the world.
Nice.
And they can also find out about Joan Murray Ministries by going to joanmurrayministries.org. And there they'll see other books that I've written, all of the outreaches we have done. And they'll find teachings and messages there that can encourage them if they're going through broken times.
Great. Again, the name of the book is Broken Yet Unstoppable. The Journey, Struggles, and Victories of Ruth, Naomi, and Our Kinsman Redeemer. The author of that book is Joan Murray. Joan, thanks so much. This was fantastic. Great to spend some time with you today.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. My name is Brian Fromm, and you're listening to The Common Good.